Hey guys, it's Britt coming to you live, and in this video I want to talk about positively intending your life and what that is, which it's a super powerful practice where you actually just plan your whole life ahead of time in your most powerful asset that you have, your brain and your mind and your thoughts, and you use the power of your thoughts to create the life you want prior to every situation. So this is based off, well, a few different things. Segment Intending by Abraham Hicks is one. And just the process of sending love to situations, which is from many other teachings as well. So a lot of people actually don't realize that they are doing the opposite of this, okay? So a lot of people are actually negatively intending their life by constantly worrying about things, constantly fearing the worst and thinking the worst, and then ending up having these kind of worst case scenario situations manifesting when really it doesn't have to be that way, okay, you guys? So say hi to me when you pop on. And if you're watching on the replay, comment #replay. If you're watching live, say hey, say where you're from and how it's going. I'd love to talk with you. So yeah, we're gonna get into this topic. Hi Winnie, how are you? So positively intending your life. You are so much more powerful than you believe you are. Hi Jerry. Your thoughts, and even more important than your thoughts, your feelings are creating your reality, okay? And with many situations in your life, well, with all situations in your life, you have the power to positively intend them and have a better experience, okay? And you can do this with your dating life, you can do this with your business, you can do this with your online presence, you can do this with your day-to-day life. So what this practice is prior to situations happening, right? So prior to that first date, or prior to, getting on a call with that client for the first time, or getting on a call with your coach for the first time, or the 100th time, or whatever, you're going to envision it working out. You're going to envision it being for your highest good. You're going to envision it being for, the highest good of everyone involved. Like, let's say, when you're going out at night, you're going to envision that you have the best night ever before you go out, right? Or if you're going for a job interview, you're going to imagine them loving you and it going so well before it happens, okay? And this is something that I've been talking about to one of my clients recently. She had a big audition going on and she was like, how can I stop being so nervous for this audition? And I'm like, well, you got to positively intend that it's going to go really well and they're going to love you and they're going to want you and they're going to be really impressed with you. And so how to positively intend a situation like that is by feeling those feelings prior to it happening. Okay? Is that making sense, you guys? Is that landing? So it's pretty simple stuff. I mean, it's not a complicated practice. It's not like some woo-woo shit. It's literally just before every situation, right? Like, I'll never forget when I was going for my driving test to get rid of my N, which in Canada is like the new driver thing. So you have to have your N for 2 years, which is basically like loser. Well, no, it's not as bad as L, which is actually you can't drive without a parent in the car, which is like mega loser. But anyway, so you have your N for 2 years and then you go for this test to get your just nothing. You don't have to wear a fucking letter on your car anymore, right? Like you're just a regular driver. So I remember I was just moving into my dream apartment, which I'm actually now selling and moving into my boyfriend's place. This was 3 years ago. And a lot of stuff was going on. I was doing an insurance course as well 3 years ago. And my dad and other people in my family were like, it's just too many things. You shouldn't go for your driving test. Like, it's just too many things right now. You're going to fail and all this stuff. And because I wasn't really the most confident driver, you guys, at that point, I was kind of like, ooh, I'm not really a good driver, right? But I knew that I was prepared. I knew that it was time. I knew that I didn't want to move into this apartment and still have that loser N, right? Because I'm moving into this really cool building with all these cool people. I don't want to have this fucking N, right? So what I did is every time I thought about taking that test, even though I was really, really nervous because, like I said, I wasn't really the most comfortable driver, nor would I say that I was the best driver, nor would I say that I even am now. I don't feel that it's one of my strong points. But anyway, so I just positively intended that this would go really well. And I kept envisioning, you know, the guy or female, it's usually a guy, you know, driving person taking you on your driving test, right? I just kept envisioning them saying, okay, you passed, right? Or whatever they did at the end of these tests, right? Like I just kept envisioning it going really well, even though I knew there was many potential fuck ups that could happen. Like for one, I couldn't even parallel park, which is one of the things that you have to do. And I still fucking don't know how to do that. And so, but I just kept positively envisioning that everything would go really well and I would get it. And then so what happened? I did get it. I passed it. I got rid of the N. I didn't have to be a loser when I moved into my new place. And yeah, so I was able to do that, right? And that's just one example of just kind of a normal thing that I use the power of positively intending to create that outcome. And prior to that, I failed my actual test to get my N like about 3 or 4 times. And the reason why I bring that up is because with those other times, I was negatively intending all the time. So when you're negatively intending something, it means you're constantly worrying about it. Every time you think about it, you feel bad. Every time you imagine yourself doing it, you imagine yourself fucking it up, right? And I see a lot of people doing this with dating situations as well, where, you know, like if you're constantly meeting people who don't want to talk to you again after the first date, right? Or like a lot of people do this where they negatively intend their first dates, right? They negatively intend that the person isn't going to like them. They negatively intend that it's going to be really awkward and they're not really going to have a good time and they're going to feel rejected, right? A lot of people do this all the time in relationship situations and dating situations where they negatively intend that everything is going to go wrong. They negatively intend that their relationship is going to end in heartbreak and struggle and divorce or whatever it is, right? Where you could just as easily positively intend every experience. But you've got to start doing this prior to it actually happening, right? Like you can't go into a relationship with all these negative expectations and then just suddenly decide, oh, I'm gonna start to be positive now. I mean, you can do that. Excuse me. You can do that, but it takes a lot more work because if you've already had the negative train going for quite a long time, it's harder to shift it. Where if you start things out positively intending them, like it can be just for simple things, right? Like you can just positively intend when you leave for work in the morning that there's not going to be traffic and everything is going to go really smoothly. Every time you get in your car, you should intend that you drive there safely and don't die, right? Or don't phrase it like that. Phrase it like, I will, you know, drive safely, right? Every time you have an appointment, you can positively intend that this is going to go really well. Every time, like you're going for tests or something, which I'm having to do so many tests being pregnant right now, like I just intend it's going to be positive, everything's going to work out. And then it does. And it's a lot easier to do this positive intending if you're already in a positive state, but it's actually not required. A lot of people, have positive beliefs about things without even realizing it. Like you want to be so sure that you are going to have a positive experience or a positive day as sure as you are when you get in your car and you turn the key in the ignition that it's going to turn on. Or if you're like me and you have a new car and you have the push button start, you know when you hit that button, that car is going to turn on without a doubt. Like there's no, unless you're driving a really fucking old car that doesn't always turn on all the time, when you turn that car on, you know it's going to turn on, right? So this is how sure, because sureness is the energy that manifests, this is how sure you want to be with manifesting your positive life, right? So when you're going on a first date, you want to be that sure as you are when you get up in the morning and decide to take a deep breath that there's going to be air there. You want to be that sure that that first date is going to go well, right? And that it's going to go smoothly. They're going to really like you. It's going to be really natural and easy and fun and joyful. And you can positively intend every relationship situation that you have. Like I did this with, well, most like all the guys I've been pretty positive around relationships for the past maybe few years. So you can positively intend that your dating life is going to be super fun, and they're going to really like you, and it's going to be really easy and flowy. And yeah, Katie says, love your shirt. Yeah, it's a Whistler shirt. I love Whistler. Whistler's a ski mountain up here. It's super fun. And thanks, always, your videos help so much. You are so welcome. Glad you're here. So you want to be so sure that you can manifest positive situations in your life by just thinking them like as sure as you are that you get to breathe air, right? Like you don't wake up in the morning and question, I hope I get to breathe air today, right? Or I hope I can, put on coffee today in my coffee pot. Like I hope that my coffee pot's not going to reject me when I put the coffee in and I put the water in and I press the button. Like I hope it's going to work, right? You don't think that shit about the shit that you do every day, and it's just so basic. It's so normal, right? It's just like it's a no-brainer, right? You want to make it a no-brainer for them to love you, right? If it's a dating situation. You want to make it a no-brainer for you to be wildly successful in all of your endeavors, right? You want to make it such a no-brainer that it's like you just put on the coffee, right? It's just like, obviously I'm going to put on coffee, right? Like this isn't a big deal. I do this every fucking day. That's how sure you want to be that everybody's going to love you. That's how sure you want to be. And when I say everybody, I just mean the people that are meant to, right? That's how sure you want to be when you're in a relationship and you know that they adore you and love you and respect you and treat you the way that you want to be treated, right? That's how sure you want to be that you're going to manifest the income goals that you desire in your business, right? It's just like, obviously I'm going to fucking turn on the coffee and have a cup this morning, right? Obviously the guy is going to text me back that I adore, because who I adore adores me back, because that is just the natural state of the universe, and it's just like breathing for me. Love is just like breathing for me, right? So this is how you positively intend your life, is by making it a no-brainer for all these things that are your dreams to manifest. And this is the kind of work I do with my one-on-one clients around manifesting their dream man, manifesting their dream life, and just having, their own personal joy of living. That really is what the joy of living is all about, you guys. It's about knowing that you are creating your life, and knowing that you're in the driver's seat here, and knowing that by choosing joy and by knowing that you are that powerful to just decide, I'm going to have coffee today, I'm going to meet the love of my life today, that guy's going to fucking text me back, I'm going to make $10,000 this month. Like, it's having that knowing and that certainty that all of these desires, if any of those were your desires, it's just like breathing air for you. Winnie says, this needs total brain reconditioning, if you know what I mean. I can imagine all the worst case scenarios in the world. Yeah. And so when you're doing that, Winnie, like, you've noticed probably how those worst case situations are, sorry, I can't even talk. My brain is like fried. Pregnancy brain, like, makes me fuck up my words all the time. Those worst case scenarios end up manifesting when you repeatedly think of them, right? And I'm not saying that you're never going to have a negative thought ever, right? Like, I mean, obviously, sometimes I get in my car and I'm like, oh, what if I just like drove into that ditch, right? But like, we always are going to think fucked up thoughts, right? But I know with certainty that I'm not going to do that. Like, I know with certainty when I get in my car, I'm not going to die. Like, I just know. Like, I'm not fucking afraid of it. If it happened, whatever, but I know that it's not going to happen, right? Like, I know with certainty that I am loved so much that I don't doubt that people love me, right? I mean, unless it's someone that's kind of a dick to me anyways, but like, that's so rare, right? Because I know with such certainty that I am loved. But if you are the kind of person that does envision these worst case scenarios, it's okay. I've been there too. I used to do that. I used to have the worst case scenarios out of anyone. Like, I used to literally think like everybody hated me. Every guy, even guys that actually did like me, I would think that they didn't like me so much that they would go from liking me to not liking me because my beliefs just couldn't accept it, right? Can anyone relate to that? And like, this is what so many people do. Like, literally, you could have your soulmate, love of your life person sitting there right in front of you and loving you and being like, oh my God, I really want to date Brittany Taylor. Like, she's so perfect. And then you could massively fuck it up by doubting it and by thinking, oh, like, that dream man person over there would never like me. Like, there's no way. Like, oh my God, did he see my pimple on my face? Did he see, like, how small my boobs are? Like, did he see that actually, like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing and, like, I'm actually such a loser? Oh my God. And you could think thoughts like that so much that all of a sudden this soulmate starts feeling a weird energy from you, because you're putting off so many bad vibes by hating yourself, because hating yourself is the exact opposite of your true nature. Your true nature is love. That this person will actually stop liking you because your thoughts push them away. And this is so common. I mean, can you honestly think of every single heartbreak in your life and think that it's not caused by that? Because I can guarantee you, every single heartbreak in your life is caused by you thinking those kind of thoughts. Or any kind of negative thoughts in general about relationships or about life. We don't just randomly get our hearts broken by people. We have people show us where we are vibrating. Okay? Nothing is random. Everything is perfect, but nothing is random. When we get hurt, we are being shown what beliefs we really have about ourselves and about life. And this is so common, like, yeah, in the relationship sense, where people mirror to us our own thoughts about ourselves, right? Like, literally, I'm not even joking, you guys. You could have your soulmate person right there, but if you can't believe that they love you, they can't love you because you're blocking it. It's so common. It happens all the time. So this is the kind of stuff I work with my clients on, is rewiring those beliefs so that you don't have to push away your good. You don't have to push away your soulmates anymore. You don't have to keep experiencing this self-created rejection of everything that you desire, right? Like, you can actually manifest them loving you by knowing that they do, right? And by positively intending the relationship. Okay? This is like the most simple thing that I could talk about, but it's literally the most powerful. You can do this with your day. You can wake up in the morning and intend that it's going to be a good day, right? That's like one of the most simple ways. You can do it with relationships. You can go on that first date with someone and positively intend that this is going to go really, really well. They're going to treat me the way that I've always want to be treated, and like, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest in a relationship, you can manifest that through that relationship. Or if it's not able to be that person, you can have such sureness and certainty that you get to have what you want, that you'll manifest the person who will be able to give it to you. Okay? And with all other situations, like I told you about the driving test situation that I manifested. God, you guys, I failed that driving test so many fucking times when I was negatively intending. And then I went for it, like the test to get rid of my N, and I got it in one try because I was positively intending. Am I a good driver? Not really. Did I positively intend that I would pass that test so I wouldn't have to feel like a loser with an N sticker? Yes. So here's the thing, like, you don't even have to be that good. Like, here's another example. Like, this one's kind of funny. So let's say, like, you want guys to think that you're really good in bed or at sex, right? Or you're a guy and you want women to think you're really good at it. You can literally just positively intend that that's what they're going to think every single time you get into bed with someone, without changing anything that you're doing. And that would be enough. That is how powerful your thoughts are. You could positively intend that every guy is going to think you're the hottest chick ever. And you could be not the hottest chick ever. But if you actually believed that so strongly, they would think that. You can send thoughts telepathically to people and they will receive them and think that about you. Now we're getting into some kind of soul stuff here. all souls are telepathic, okay? You can project thoughts into people's minds, and if they're open to receive them, they will. So you have much more power than you've been allowing yourself to realize, okay? You have much more power than you are allowing yourself to realize. You can experience love in so much more ways than you're allowing it in, okay? And it comes with intending that, okay? I love my hair right now. I just love it. I just love it. So, I think that's all I want to say. Or no, I think I want to say a little bit here just about sending love to people. This can be a really powerful way to receive love from people, is by sending it to them, okay? Because here's the thing. We all come from love. Mostly all people can be reached with love. Hey, Melissa. And when we send them love first, like let's say you're having a difficult relationship with a coworker or something. And actually, I had this too when I used to work in an actual job where I felt really hated by this one coworker. And actually, it was only the two of us in the office. So it was really bothering me for a long time. And I just positively intended that she would start liking me. And it just started to be a no-brainer that we would get along, right? And that's one of my favorite sayings is like, make it a no-brainer for you to have what you want. And it did. It took maybe a few months of positively intending. This was like years ago. This was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But I changed that relationship. And then we became the best of friends. We laughed together. We giggled together. But prior to me doing that work, I had a negative expectation that because she had hated everybody prior that was there, apparently, that she was going to just be trouble for me and she was just going to be mean to me, right? And that's what I was kind of expecting, and that's what I was experiencing. But once I changed that belief and it started to be a no-brainer, like, hey, it's a no-brainer for this chick to fucking get along with me because actually I'm just so lovable, right? And this is my attitude with most people, is just like, it would be a no-brainer for them to not like me because I'm just like this goddess of love and light and beauty, and I'm just so fucking filled with soul love that like literally it's impossible for people not to love me unless they're just really jealous, right? And so as you hold these inner attitudes, people mirror them to you, right? And if you have a person who you do feel like doesn't like you and then you keep expecting them to cause you trouble, they will keep causing you trouble. Whereas if you shifted your focus and thought, you know what? I think they're going to like me. I think things are going to start going smoothly. I'm going to send them love because we know that love is the most powerful energy in the universe. I'm going to send them love. I'm going to pray for, you can also use prayer too to do this. I'm going to pray for the highest good for me and everyone concerned. And I'm going to manifest that. And you just start to expect that. You start to positively intend that. You will experience that. Like, there's so many situations in your life you have the power to change, especially in your relationships, especially with things. You can even make yourself good at something. I remember for the longest time too with cooking, I was just fucking like so useless at it. Like, I was so fucking bad. I would always set off smoke alarms and like everything I would make would taste like shit until after a while of doing it, I just started to expect, you know what, I've done this enough times, like, this is going to be really good, this is going to go really smoothly, this is going to be really easy. And then it started to be really easy, and it started to be fun, actually. And now I love it. Well, the things that I know how to do. I feel like I need to know how to cook more things, because I actually enjoy it a lot more now. But that was one thing that was another huge struggle. Stuff with men was a huge struggle that I shifted with the power of my mind. Friends, like being friends with girlfriends, that was a thing that I shifted with the power of my mind. So many things, you guys, like, and especially the relationship ones. Like, if you find yourself experiencing a certain dynamic over and over and over again, try positively intending it, because you are so much more powerful than you realize. Like, you can have what you desire, and oftentimes it can actually be as easy as just starting to positively intend things and starting to just expect things to go well for you. And then they will. Because everything that's happening in your life is a reflection of what's going on in here. But sometimes there is stuff we need to work on, and that's what I'm here for, you guys. And if you're feeling called and you want to work with me one-on-one at a deep level, you want to rewire your brain into joy, you want to stop re-manifesting painful scenarios in love and in life over and over and over again, and you want to get on that joy vibe, you want to manifest your joy of living. If you're ready for this now, this is the last chance to work with me one-on-one this year and next year, okay? And I'm going to be closing doors for this probably in the next couple of weeks. So this is your last chance if you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want to Voxer with me, which is like a walkie-talkie app, which we have so much fun on. If you want to have one-on-one calls with me, this is your last chance. My last coaching package is going to be open for the next 2 weeks, but then this is going to be the last call to work with me in 2019 and 2020, because I'm going to be taking care of my little one, and I want to, get in a good groove of that before I, have my other babies, my clients, right? So if you are ready now, if you want to manifest the love of your life, you want to manifest your soulmate, you want to manifest your own personal joy of living out your dreams, being the person you've always wanted to be, shifting those painful patterns into joy, into love, being your higher self, message me if you want the full overview on this. And this is the last call to work with me. And if you enjoyed this video, give me some hearts, give me a comment, and I hope this helps. Once again, even though I know I've said this like 100 times in this video, you are so much more powerful than you realize. And remember, you came for the joy of living. Bye, guys.